Hey boys and girls, it's Wootini from GayGamer.net here with another weekly video podcast. This week's will be much shorter than last week's. I have no box of shame. This week I wanted to talk about the Wii U launch because Nintendo has announced 23 games that will be available at launch, which they were claiming is like the biggest launch library ever in the history. And I kind of feel like it probably is, because normally, I remember going to the Wii launch, and there was like, maybe a half a dozen titles, if that. Luckily one of them was Zelda, so you didn't really need anything else. And it came with Wii Sports, so between Wii Sports and Zelda, I was pretty much set for a while. But typically at launch, you get like a half a dozen games, and only one or two of them are any good, and you end up, in the launch window, some other games start coming out, and there's just not that many of them, and you end up buying games that are not particularly very good, just because you want something else to play. But that's what you get when you buy a console at launch. But they're talking about 23 games at launch, and then like another 24 or more in the launch window from Nintendo and from third parties. And they do kind of have pretty much every genre covered. A lot of the games, there's going to be stuff like, Wipeout and Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy and, those kinds of things that are, not that exciting, and is certainly not going to be a system seller. But there are some really solid games at launch. You've got Nintendo Land, which is going to be fun. All the games I've played from Nintendo Land are fun. And if you get the deluxe version of the Wii U package, it comes with Nintendo Land, which is like the perfect pack-in. You've also got New Super Mario Bros. U. I'm not excited about that because I suck at platformers, but I know a lot of people will be excited about it. Personally, for me, I'm very excited for Nintendo Land, and then also, weirdly, Sing Party, which I guess is the final title of Sing, which was the working title. So they want to make sure that you know that Sing Party is a party where you sing, which is kind of silly, because, all karaoke games are fun party games, and we already know that, but whatever. I am kind of excited for that. I don't actually know what the final song list is going to be, but it should be pretty fun. And then there's Zombie U, which is also going to be awesome. I played a good chunk of that demo. I played the demo, and it was great, and it was a good, solid chunk of time with it, and that's going to be a really good launch title. They've got a lot of other stuff. I guess Assassin's Creed 3 could be fun, except for the fact that, I don't know, it's got that whole ship part in it, which kind of irks me, but whatever. We'll see. But then you've got all these other games coming out, like, at any point during the launch window, which is from November 18th all the way to somewhere in March. That's the launch window. So, from in there, you've got all kinds of other games coming out, which, that's where you get the Wonderful 101, which looks like a whole lot of fun. And other games, such as the one that I'm strangely really looking forward to, which is Lego City Undercover, which is like Lego GTA, except you're a cop instead of a criminal, obviously. I just love the Lego games, and so to have, like, a Lego game... It's going to be weird to have a Lego game that's not fully licensed. But I feel like the Lego Batman 2... that sort of had, like, an open-world aspect to it. Like, you could travel all around Gotham City and explore and, like, do things all over Gotham City and, do separate missions and stuff. So, this is just even more of an open world, which is, I think, is kind of cool. So, whatever. The only thing that I feel like the Nintendo launch and launch window is missing is a good RPG. You've got some, like, solid adventure games, but the problem is like, then you've got, like, Assassin's Creed 3 is new, but you've got, like, Batman Arkham City, which you know, I've already played on my PlayStation, and then you've got Mass Effect 3 is coming out in the launch window, which I've already played on my Xbox, so I'm not really interested in playing those again. So I would love to have an RPG, like a good RPG, preferably a Zelda game. I mean, that was what I loved about the Wii launch. Like, people were like, oh, there's not really very many games. And I'm like, there's a Zelda game. What else do you need? Come on. So, you know, I have to say, though, that I am kind of impressed, and if they can get all these games out at launch, that's pretty much probably the most impressive launch library I've seen for a recent console. But that's not until November. Meanwhile, October is going to be keeping me extremely busy, because we've got new Art Academy coming out right at the beginning of October, which I'm super excited for. And then a couple weeks later, you've got Style Savvy Trendsetters on the 3DS, as well as, I think a week after that is the new Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask on 3DS. So, like, my 3DS is going to be getting a hell of a workout throughout October. Thankfully, Paper Mario on the 3DS does not come out until November at some point, hopefully towards the end of November, because seriously... So, my 3DS will be keeping me extremely busy throughout the month of October. And then I'll worry about the Wii U in November. I'm excited for Art Academy because I loved the first Art Academy, and I can't wait to try the pastels and the new lessons and everything. And but I am really, really excited for Style Savvy. I can't even tell you how much. I can't wait. So, yeah, there we go. I'm proud of it. Style Savvy was a really fun game, and if you didn't play it, you missed out. Meh. So, yeah. So, I don't even know if there's anything coming out for Xbox or PlayStation. Basically, October is the month of 3DS games for me. I will not be playing anything on my consoles, probably, that much. I'm gonna just be playing my 3DS the whole month. So, yeah. And, maybe next week I'll have something to talk about with Art Academy. See you then. Bye.